Now what we want to do is go to the annual business meeting. And this year, the annual business meeting includes presentation of all the Society's awards, recognition of the awardees and fellows, and the reveal of the new AMS logo. So please stick around, and then afterwards we'll have a reception and you can comment on the logo, meet people and congratulate them all on their awards, and I think it's going to be wonderful. Okay, so this year you just heard with Gina what we were talking about was this idea of linking information to knowledge to society, really taking what we know, working with other people, building something bigger than any individual and making a difference. So that's what we're trying to think about here this week. We're recognizing what we've done in the past and looking to where we want to go in the future. And so you've had the initial challenge. Okay. So this meeting, I want to just say a minute. You see how many people are here, and I think we're off to an incredible start. This couldn't have happened. It's record-setting by almost every measure. We have over 5,500 people who've registered to be here this week. 60 countries. We have over 800 students and at the conference and over 1,500 students here. So I think that's incredible too. Those people are going to give us almost 3,000 oral presentations and over 1,500 posters, and we have 100 exhibitors, over 100 exhibitors here for you to go and meet. So all of this doesn't happen, certainly not with just one person sitting up on or standing up here on the stage. It's an incredible effort, and I will say the overall program committee that I had, and I hope they're going to put their names up. There we go. Are amazing. They've spent almost 2 years trying to bring you this meeting. And I want to recognize all of them. And Ray Ban took on the job of chairing and kept us all going in the same direction to bring this here to you today. So thank you, Ray, and thank you, that entire committee. Equally, I want to thank all of the conference and symposium chairs. They're making sure that the incredible science and discussions that you have cover an incredible diversity of what we've learned in the field. The AMS staff, I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity of meeting many of them yet, but we couldn't do this without them. And they don't put that in the list of things I should say. I think we just have to recognize what they do. The many students who are going to be here this week, you'll see them in your sessions supporting you and helping to make things run smoothly. Thank them, introduce yourselves. You'll find they'll be so excited if you do. I was. To our generous sponsors for the meeting. And in particular, I want to give special thanks to our Centennial corporate sponsor, Lockheed. And I want to, in particular, present a token of our appreciation to Lisa Callahan on behalf of Lockheed. Thank you so much, Lisa. This is the business meeting, and I want to talk to you about governance. We've had the tally of the election results, and I have the honour of introducing your new representatives to the AMS governance. So you know who you are. Be ready to stand up when I say your name. So our President-elect, Mike Farrar. Councillors Deke Arndt, Ruby Leung, Vern Morris, Judy Pullen, And our fifth councillor, Charlie Moledji. Thank you all. Now we have 5 councillors and 2 commissioners who are finishing this year, and I really want to also acknowledge everything they've done. These are not easy jobs. It's really an honour when you're elected to these positions, but you really put a lot of time and effort in. So thank you very much to Elizabeth, and again, please stand, Elizabeth Austin, John Cortinas, Tanya Franson, Dave Gotchis, and Adam Sobel. And to our 2 outgoing commissioners, Pam Emch and Donna Charlevay. And Doug Hildebrand and Kevin Gobert have been brave enough to take over from Pam and Donna respectively, so we thank them too. So now I want to invite all of the newly elected fellows on stage. The AMS Constitution states that those eligible for election to fellow shall have made outstanding contributions to the atmospheric or related oceanic or hydrologic science or their applications over a substantial period of years. This year's class of fellows, whose names you can see up on the screen, embody this sense of contribution to the community. Let's congratulate them all. Okay, I'm going to squeeze in.
Please.
Squish down. There we go. All right. So I want to take just a minute to talk about a few things that have happened during the last year that I'm really proud of, things that are coming from the AMS that I think are going to set us on a great path for our next 100 years. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. Being the AMS president has been amazing. I've met so many incredible people, and I've seen the investments of time and effort and energy being put in to the AMS by its members, really to make this organisation an outstanding community that it is today and that we're taking forward to our second century. It's about 10% of the members are actively volunteering in this society, and I think we can be incredibly proud of the active community that we're part of. So we see ourselves as a society that welcomes all comers, but we can't just see ourselves as we have to be that society. We need to reflect on what we want the AMS to be and what membership in the AMS and the society itself represents. So over the last couple of years, the AMS Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Task Force has been working to give us some insights into how we should proceed in thinking about building our community. and I'm excited to announce that based on the DEI, Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Task Force findings and recommendations, Council has created a new AMS Culture and Inclusion Cabinet and approved the terms of reference for that cabinet. You'll be hearing much more about the CIC in the future, but I think this is really a milestone for the AMS, and I'm thrilled to be able to introduce it to you on my watch. There's been an enormous number of people invested in making this happen. So thank you to those people. Professional societies literally all around the world are reviewing or developing their policies for code of conduct. The AMS has convened a task force on professional conduct to bring our standards into the 21st century. Again, declaring what we expect of ourselves as individuals and as a profession is challenging and possibly confronting, but it's really important. It's absolutely important. So this task force has made some terrific progress, and this year we're expecting them to submit recommendations for consideration by Council and for consultation with all of you. The centennial year was the culmination of the work, or is the culmination of investment by the Centennial Committee. This group of AMS members has spent the last 5 years gathering input and developing a vision for the second century of the AMS. Council has accepted their recommendation for 5 centennial initiatives: lifetime career advancement, local collaboration networks, a member volunteer portal, partner organisation web, and historical research network. Those 5 initiatives share a common element of networks, so that, again, this synergy and collaboration. Former President Bill Gale chaired this committee through its mission. Bill will be hosting a town hall on Thursday at noon to gather your input, so please go along and gather and provide your input to Bill and the now sunsetting Centennial Committee. There'll be new organisations coming in to shepherd these initiatives. So once again, I want to offer many, many thanks to former President Gale and to the entire Centennial Committee for dedication over a period of 5 years to bring these opportunities and these new ideas to our community to help propel us forward. So please join me in thanking them. Okay. So as most of you know, the work of the Society is propelled predominantly through the volunteer service that's organised into the 6 commissions. Each commission has provided me with some major highlights from their commission in the past year, and I'll just share them with you. The Scientific and Technological Activities Commission, I'm just used to saying STAC, is responsible to the Society and the Council for advancing science and technology by promoting the open exchange of ideas, strengthening our disciplinary communities, enhancing collaboration among these communities, embracing diversity, and cultivating the next generation of scientists and leaders. There are 30 committees under STAC and 6 interdisciplinary boards. Last year, STAC led 28 conferences and symposia at the annual meeting and 7 specialty conferences around various locations. At this annual meeting, there are 32 STAC-led conferences and symposia, and there'll be 6 specialty conferences this year. For the tropical community, I'll see you in New Orleans. STAC is supported by the work of 437 volunteers just in one commission. These volunteers include students and early career professionals and come from government, academia and industry. The importance of diversity, equity, inclusion is reflected in STAC membership in meeting sessions, trainings, webinars, and in the STAC-led awards. The Publications Commission is responsible for overseeing the AMS technical journals and the other publications of the Society. Submissions to AMS journals in 2019 increased by about 10% 2018. Beginning in 2020, authors of submissions to Weather and Forecasting and to Weather, Climate and Society will have the option of including a plain language significance statement, which will follow the abstract in the published paper. In recognition of the centennial, a special issue of meteorological monographs has been completed. The monograph, A Century of Progress in Atmospheric and Related Sciences, celebrating the American Meteorological Society Centennial, is available online as open access and can be ordered in book form from the AMS Resource Centre here. And good news for all of you authors out there, as recommended by the Publication Commission and approved by Council, AMS implemented a new journal charging structure in late 2019. Page charges were reduced from $145 to $120 per typeset page. Yes. The Education and Human Resource Commission supports members of the Society and continually pushes the field to be better for all of its members. The work on the board on women and minorities has been focused on creating a more welcoming and inclusive society through its support of underrepresented groups, and much of the work is incorporated into events throughout and surrounding the annual meeting. Our support of atmospheric science education from kindergarten through college continues to be stronger than ever and is exemplified by the robust 29th Conference on Education and the launch of a new certified AMS teacher program for K-12 educators, which has been implemented in coordination with the Commission on Professional Affairs. So you can see our commissions are collaborating. And I think that this is really exciting. This certified teacher program has great promise, I think. The Commission on Professional Affairs supports members in their professional activities, including overseeing the AMS certification programs. This past year was a busy year for the Commission. It included working on cross-commission efforts with the Commission for Education and Human Resources, with the new certified AMS teacher program, and also on the annual AMS Early Career Leadership Academy, or ECLA. ECLA is now in its third year, and its goal is to, and it's intended to build and sustain a diverse network of early career leaders in weather, water, and climate science. Early career people, applications for ECLA are currently being accepted on the AMS website. The Commission on Professional Affairs is home to the long-standing AMS certifications, including Certified Broadcast Meteorologist and Certified Consulting Meteorologist programs. In 2019, the Society awarded 30 CBMs and 5 CCMs. There are currently 17 members of the Society who are duly certified as CBM and CCM, but there's only 6 who have the distinction of being a CBM, a CCM, and a Fellow. So at this centennial meeting, we would like to recognise those colleagues with such a breadth of achievement. So please stand if you're one of the 6 and accept our congratulations. Theodore Fatauer, Paul Gross, Bob Bryan, John Tui Morales, Jay Trobeck, and Valerie Voss Crenshaw. The Commission on the Weather, Water and Climate Enterprise addresses the needs and concerns of all sectors of the enterprise and creates a sense of community by providing opportunities for frank, balanced discussions on points of contention or concern, educating policymakers on the value and operations of the enterprise, and developing and implementing programs to enhance information exchange. The CWWCE is currently comprised of about 200 volunteers serving on 4 boards and 17 committees. This includes 2 new committees that were recently initiated, the Ad Hoc Committee on Wildland Fire Weather Technology and Risk, and the Ad Hoc Committee on Oceans, Atmosphere and the Blue Economy. The Commission is an active one that sponsors several major events annually. It welcomes new volunteers, so please contact the Commissioner or Board Committee or Committee Chairs if you're interested in finding out more. The Planning Commission is responsible to Council to ensure the Society anticipates the changing needs of the members and to ensure the organisational and fiscal policies of the Society are commensurate with the role of the Society, and they do this through strategic planning and related recommendations. The Commission recently restructured its membership so the other 5 commissioners, as well as 6 at-large members and the immediate past president, form the Planning Commission. The Commission approaches its mission through a mix of long-term strategic thinking combined with creation of task forces to address specific goals. Currently, the Commission has 6 active task forces looking at governance, leadership development, at getting improved diversity and other demographic databases for the Society, early career involvement, future finances, and the certification process. The Commission is also responsible for overseeing the implementation of the Society's strategic goals. Now I'm going to go briefly and note the Secretary-Treasurer report. So all of the business covered in this session, the list of meetings we've sponsored this past year and the summaries of our budgets for 2019 and 2020 are included in the preliminary Secretary-Treasurer's report. It's available on the AMS website through the annual meeting app, or you can pick up a hard copy, not so green, at the back of the room as you leave and at the information desk. The final Secretary-Treasurer's report will appear in BAMS later this year, along with a list of all of our donors. The Secretary-Treasurer's report includes the names of those members who've passed away in 2019. So I'll just recognise those members and then I'll ask you for a moment of silence to acknowledge the loss of those members. Arnold Barnes, Philip Buffington, Russell Clark, George Coleman III, Grant Edwards, Wayne Evans, Joseph Gamble, Richard Greenfeld, Dick Greenfeld, William Haggard, CCM, James Harrington, CCM, Alex Herbst, Doug Jonas, Eli Katz, Helmut Krauss, Bill LaPenta, Roland List, CCM, Daniel Lufkin, William Marklet, Kikuro Miyakoda, Walter Monk, Hugh O'Neill, Norm Phillips, Robert J. Renard, Miriam Rothman, Roddy Rogers, Joel Rosenbaum, Joseph Schaefer, CCM, Eric Shettle, Paul Smith, Alfred Stamm, Jerome Taylor, Kenneth Thomas, and Fuqing Zhang. So please stand for a moment of silence in honour of these colleagues. Thank you. As you know, we've led up to this 100th annual meeting with a major fundraising campaign. I'd now like to ask Susan Avery, past president and chair of the 100th anniversary campaign, to provide a brief report on the success of this effort.
Thank you, Susan, so much. Thank you, Jenny. I do hope that all of you were inspired by Gina and the conversation here.
We've had a wonderful past 100 years. A lot of us really appreciate the professional family that we have here at AMS. And now it's time to really look to the future, and that's what this campaign was all about. So just let me give you a few numbers to where we stand. We've worked on this now for 4 years, and thank you to all of those who have given. Currently, we have raised $9.2 million. That includes current, thank you. Just to give you a little breakdown, that includes $4.4 million of current gifts, short-term pledges of $886,000, charitable gift annuities of $387,000, and estate commitments of $3.5 million. But what's really impressive is to look at the trends in giving over these last 4 years. This is now current dollars that are basically have come in, they're in the door, and it includes corporate giving as well. So in 2016, current dollars in for the campaign were $370,000. 2017, $448,000. 2018, $802,000. And in 2019, current gift dollars, $1.14 million. So $9.2 million, I've got 1 week. By the end of this conference, I'm going to see that at $10 million. I've talked to some of you already, and let's just make this happen. Thank you very much to all of those who have given. Thank you to all of those who will be giving by the end of this conference.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.
And don't take Susan lightly. She means it.